Well, Kate McKinnon, you're just having a wonderful 2016, and got your fourth Emmy nomination a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
What's that like for you to be? I mean, you got a huge cast, and you're the one that they single out every year.
Oh, I'm very honored, obviously, but I'm mostly just honored to be part of the current ensemble that we have. It's such a good group of incredibly talented comedians who happen to be some of my favorite people, and so I'm just so damn happy to be working there. It was my dream job, and you know, just to walk in the building every day is crazy. Still.
You did something most cast members that join the show don't do, and I believe when you started, you joined in the middle or even toward the end of a season, not at the beginning of a season.
For the last 5 episodes of a season. Some people have done that. It has happened.
How is that different from the others? I mean, you don't know their experiences, but joining toward the end of a season as opposed to right at the beginning, already everything's already up and running and going smoothly.
It's been interesting. Because I came in by myself at the end of a year. It happened to be Kristen Wiig's final season, so there was a lot going on, and I was a little lost because it's there's a lot to learn when you get there. But then when I got back to work the following fall, Brian and Cecily Strong were there, and the writer Tim Robinson had joined them. So we all sort of huddled together and said, "Oh my gosh, what's going on? This is crazy."
Well, it was probably difficult when you did the first 5, but having that running start for the next season, I'm sure helped a lot.
I was still fairly confused at that point.
Well, you mentioned a lot of the ladies you work with, and then before you, to me, this last decade has been all about the women on SNL. With before you, Kristen Wiig and Amy Poehler and Tina Fey, and it's just been an amazing decade for women on the show. And it wasn't that way really at the beginning. Some of those ladies still complain about how rotten it was for the ladies on the show.
Right. No, it's very strong, and obviously the men are very strong as well and incredibly talented. And I think it's just there's kind of an equitable distribution of real estate right now because everyone is so talented, so everyone gets their fair amount of time to put their stuff out there, and that's just exciting to be around.
One of your best episodes this year that you submitted to the Emmy voters is the Ariana Grande hosted episode. What made you like that particular week so much?
We ended up doing this video where Hillary Clinton was sort of turning into Bernie Sanders, which was this brilliant observation by Chris Kelly and Sarah Schneider, the writers who I work with on all of the Hillary stuff. And I just thought that was so well written. And then I did this other sketch where I played a mermaid who was a blobfish, and that the prosthetics alone were just stellar. So I just love those 2 sketches a lot.
And you had Tilda Swinton, and you had I think The Sound of Music. That was a fun episode.
Oh yeah. That was all there. And Ariana Grande was great. Yeah.
Yes. I'm just as a fan. Sometimes I'm surprised. Certain weeks when I see a host, I wonder, I don't know if they'll be good, or maybe sometimes I have too big of an expectations. Do you do that as well? As you hear who's going to be hosting, do you sort of have certain expectations?
Yes, you definitely wonder what their strengths will be and what sort of thing you should be looking to write for them and stuff. She was particularly funny. I mean, she's like, I only know her as this like incredible vocalist and pop star, and then she had like serious comedy chops, and it was such a cool surprise.
Well, speaking of Hillary Clinton, I mean, that's just a dream for any SNLer all these 40 plus years. With all the political comedy, what's it like during that cycle where now she's the nominee? You've got some weeks coming up when the show returns of the final part of the election. I mean, what's going through your mind as all of this is happening?
It's certainly fun, and it's certainly a fascinating intellectual exercise to try to make sense of all this and funnel it into something that's funny and says and comments on it. And it's just a good time to be a comedian. I mean, this fall is going to be It's going to be a trip, right?
And Daryl Hammond gets to play Donald Trump and Bill Clinton. That's going to be a trick.
They're all wonderful. They're great characters. I mean, it's this incredible drama that's unfolding, and it happens to be have real world consequences as well. But it's just really fun to play her, and I think it's going to be a great fall.
Every time we have a presidential election, I so look forward to what SNL is going to do with it. You'll have, I guess, the debates and all of those sorts of things. When she appeared on the show back last fall, what was going through your mind that particular day, and as those moments were about to happen live?
Oh my gosh. It wasn't even the live part that I was worried about. It was what do I say to this woman who I've revered for decades while we're rehearsing and they're adjusting the lights and we have to pause and we're making chit chat on the set. And I found some stuff. She's incredibly sincere and personable. And so it turned out to be fine. She made it easy for me.
As you do impressions or impersonations of different people, in this particular case, you have to figure out how you're going to do it. What was the key to her? How did you know how to play her?
It's interesting. I mean, it took a little bit. It didn't arrive fully formed, and it was in a large part of it was the writing from, as I said, the writers Chris Kelly and Sarah Schneider. And then I just latched onto very minute things that she did and blew them way out of proportion. As with everybody.
Well, the laugh, I think, on her, I think the first time I really realized that was when Amy Poehler used to play her.
Yeah. I did. I went back and watched a lot of Amy's stuff. I knew I had to make it different somehow. I mean, she really knocked it out of the park, so that was a challenge. But I did notice that Hillary's laugh was distinctive, and so that was probably the first thing I latched onto.
All of these years of SNL, was there a particular other presidential candidate or actual president, somebody that became president, that you really, really enjoyed from another SNL cast member?
I mean, the 2008 stuff with Amy and Tina was like, will go down in the annals of television as just some of the greatest TV there ever was. I love, obviously, Will Ferrell's Bush, perfect. Daryl Hammond's Clinton, perfect. And Dana Carvey's Bush Sr., which is such a beautiful character. And it's grounded in reality, but became this just like incredible creature all its own. They're just great impressions. It's what an impression should be.
And you got to see and talk to and party with all of these people last year on the 40th anniversary. What was that night like for you?
Oh my God, it was pretty wild. That was one of the craziest nights of my life, truly. I met everyone I ever admired in one evening, including AJ McLean from the Backstreet Boys. Hello.
That was the highlight of everybody?
Well, that was it. My particular year in school, they were God, and they were God, and so yes, it was odd to meet God at the thing. Also, Paul McCartney, God. There are several, and I met them all that night.
Well, one other Hillary question. If she wins in November, we're fully expecting you to be on the show 8 more years.
I hope to. I hope to work there as long as they'll let me.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we want you to. It's just not a common. I mean, beyond a certain number of years, most people do want to leave.
Well, it's the schedule. The schedule's interesting, but I love working there so much, and it really was my dream job. So I'm just so lucky to have been given the opportunity.
Another awards-related question. I was at the Spirit Awards this year that you co-hosted.
You were?
What was that experience like for you?
Oh my God, that was fun. That was so fun. They got great writers, and Kumail Nanjiani is one of my favorite comedians, and I just wanted to hang around him, and I felt like we had a nice little chemistry going, and it was just a really fun, pretty relaxed week, and we got to do these fun pre-taped sketches, and I just loved it.
You'd go back and do it again if they asked you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, why not? I'm not
Sure.
doing it.
Absolutely. Emmy Awards coming up. Any particular plans for you for that? A lot of your guest hosts from this season are nominated. Everybody from Amy and Tina to Melissa McCarthy to Amy Schumer and Larry David. What was that like working with Larry David on the Bernie Sanders?
Oh, that was it was such a cool thing, because the first time I heard Bernie Sanders speak out loud, I said, "Oh, is that Larry David speaking on TV?" I couldn't distinguish their voices, and so then we sort of floated it as a joke of who we'd want to play Bernie in an ideal world, and then Lauren just gave a call, and then it became this year-long journey where he'd just show up every few weeks, and he's so smart and so funny, and it was just, I really felt like I was part of something. You know what I mean?
Oh, it doesn't happen very often. Then I mean, I think of Tina Fey and Sarah Palin too. That was where everybody in the country is going, "Oh, Tina has to play Sarah."
Yeah. It's very cool. It was very cool. Very cool time to be working at the show.
Well, we're excited to see you at the Emmys here in a few weeks. You're gonna sometimes the people in your category, especially, do little bits and things for the show. Are you going to be part of doing something on the Emmy Awards?
Come back, you've frozen.
Oh, you froze for me for a second too. I said, especially comedians like yourself often do something on the Emmy Awards. Are you gonna be part of the Emmy Awards ceremony this year?
Oh, not to my knowledge, but oh God, they're coming. They're coming. Not to my knowledge.
Well, we'll put that in the ear of Don Misher. We got to get you on the show.
All right. I just like to go. It's so fun to go.
And your summer of Ghostbusters, that was just a phenomenal success. I'm wondering, I guess you did publicity all around the world for that. What other country gave you the most interesting story to tell when you were doing publicity?
We only actually went internationally to London.
Okay.
Reporters from Europe came to meet us. Bless them. And London, it's a charmer. They got great architecture there. Scones, oh, the scones. But I didn't get to go to Malaysia or anything like that.
You didn't have to make the 3-stop-a-day tour.
No. It's all right. It felt like enough.
You think there'll be a sequel?
Far be it from me. I would love to get back in the pack, as it were. We'll see.
Well, we will see you just in about 6 weeks here for the Emmy Awards. Thank you so much. We've been trying to get you to do one of these every year, but I think you've got your summer vacation, and why would you want to go to NBC over in August? So here you are, though. This is great.
No, it's nice. It is like visiting high school over the summer.
Right. Go in and see the teachers while they're working.
No, but it's good. I thank you so much for talking to me.
Oh, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.